Have you ever wondered why some people seem to move through life like still water, calm on the surface yet filled with unstoppable current beneath? Why some rise before dawn, live with clarity, and remain centered no matter how chaotic the world becomes, while others drown in distraction, fatigue, and endless excuses? Every day we scroll through images of people who seem perfectly disciplined, perfectly productive, perfectly untouchable. But behind most of those screens lies exhaustion, not mastery. Because what most call discipline today is not discipline at all. It is performance, a mask worn for validation. True discipline, the kind that endures through storms, through years, through solitude, is not born from motivation or hacks. It is born from understanding, and understanding comes from silence. The warriors and monks of old did not rely on morning routines or self-help slogans. They relied on principle. They understood that the mind must be trained as patiently as a sword is forged. From that lineage came what we now call the Lotus method, a philosophy of growth born not from comfort, but from chaos. The lotus, after all, blooms in the mud. Its purity exists because of its struggle. The Lotus method teaches that self-discipline is not the act of forcing life into order. It is the art of aligning yourself with it. Like the lotus rising through the dark water, your strength is hidden until pressure reveals it. This is not another system of productivity. It is a way of being. Its wisdom was once practiced by samurai, Zen monks, and scholars who believed that to master the outer world, one must first master the inner landscape. Each step of this method mirrors the natural rhythm of growth, cleansing, structuring, practicing, aligning, and returning to stillness. In this cycle, discipline becomes something more than habit. It becomes harmony. The first movement of this path is purification. Before adding new habits, one must remove the poisons that dull the mind, eliminate distraction, clutter, addiction, and noise. The samurai called this harai, the cleansing of both spirit and surroundings. Without purification, every act of focus is drowned in static. Modern neuroscience echoes this truth. Researchers at Princeton University discovered that cluttered environments directly impair the brain's ability to process and focus. The same holds for digital noise. Even a silent phone on your desk pulls at your attention like an invisible hand. To cleanse your space and your senses is to return your energy to yourself. In emptiness, you find clarity. Next comes order. Once the soil is cleared, you must give it form. Discipline without structure is like a blade without an edge. The monks called it kaiko, the sacred routine that turns chaos into calm. Write your intentions, set your time, define your direction. The chaos of a day reflects the chaos of a mind. When you design your day with purpose, you are not trying to control time. You are creating flow. A study at the Dominican University revealed that people who record their goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. Why? Because clarity turns thought into motion. When you organize your environment, you are not restricting life. You are freeing it from confusion. Order is not rigidity. It is rhythm. The third stage is training. This is where transformation begins. In the old Zen dojos, students were not told to chase motivation. They were told to bow to repetition, to repeat an act until it becomes effortless. Discipline, Musashi said, is the bridge between mind and mastery. It is not about desire, it is about identity. Neuroscientists from Cambridge found that deliberate repetition of small, deliberate actions reshapes the brain's reward system, replacing addiction with alignment. Every time you rise when you want to sleep, act when you want to hesitate, or persist when you want to quit, you are forging the invisible armor of the mind. Like iron and fire, repetition burns away weakness until only purpose remains. The fourth is unity. You cannot walk two paths at once. When your habits are not aligned with your values, discipline becomes torture. But when your actions serve your essence, effort becomes expression. This is what Zen calls itai doshin, many in body, one in mind. Stanford psychologist Kelly McGonigal found that people who connect their routines to identity sustain them far longer. When discipline is no longer something you do, but something you are, it ceases to drain you. A house divided against itself collapses. Unity means your choices, your values, and your actions move as one. The warrior who acts in harmony with his truth cannot be broken because he no longer fights himself. Finally comes silence, the most forgotten and yet the most essential step. The modern world worships noise, constant movement, endless information. But the lotus grows in silence. So did the mind of Musashi, meditating on death before dawn. So did every monk who faced his thoughts until the storm cleared. Neuroscientists have now proven what the ancients already lived. Silence lowers the brain's fear responses, calming the amygdala, deepening awareness, and restoring perspective. In silence, reflection polishes the sword of the soul. It is where you reconnect with something vast, something unshaken by time. Discipline without silence is arrogance. Silence without discipline is escape. The two must coexist: effort and emptiness, motion and rest. The Lotus method is not motivation. It is biology, psychology, and spirit woven together. It does not demand that you become extraordinary. It demands that you become real. To clean, to order, to train, to unite, and to rest within stillness. Each step mirrors the cycles of nature. Bloom, fade, seed, rise again. Jordan Peterson once said, "Discipline begins with making your own bed." James Clear wrote, "You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." Both echo what the Lotus has always known. Growth is not an act of passion, it is an act of patience. And so, when the noise of life pulls you toward distraction, remember, the Lotus does not hurry to bloom. It rises through the dark, because that is where its beauty is born. True discipline is not about control, it is about alignment. It is not about forcing progress. It is about removing what keeps you from your natural rhythm. The path is simple, but never easy. Yet if you tend to it daily, your life, like the Lotus, will begin to open. So I ask you now, in what part of your life must you begin your cleansing? Where must you bring order? Where must you return to silence? Whatever your answer, begin there. Because every Lotus, no matter how radiant, begins in the mud. Train your mind. Master yourself. Walk the Dojo path.